But what we're gonna be is we're gonna be discussing the last Misfit card and also gonna shed some light on the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight. So two big losses. Jake Paul lost, the guy who we never thought could actually lose the match. He was kind of undefeated. He had only one loss to Tommy Fury before, and even that was a close fight. Jake Paul, who many people actually picked to win this fight, should have actually won the fight. He was winning the first 5 rounds of the fights. Hey, fight, how's it going, bro? Did you watch the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight? I don't know what your pick was, but Jake Paul was supposed to win that fight. He was winning all the rounds. He won the first 4 rounds easy. He was landing the bigger shots, and just like I told you, he was going to be faster than Anthony Joshua. And just because Anthony Joshua is taller than him, and he just won the Olympic gold medal, doesn't mean that Joshua is going to be able to hit him clean. And you saw in the first few rounds, he was landing the over. Yeah, I know. But Jake Paul was landing the overhand multiple times. He did that. And you could see Joshua was a bit worried he couldn't catch Jake Paul. And Logan was teasing Joshua. And then unfortunately, Jake Paul just got tired. Yes, yeah, same thing, man. Nobody could believe that. It's unbelievable that he lost. He was sort of, at one point, he was sort of be considered to be invincible, the untouchable guy. And no, I didn't see that. Many people are saying that it was a good fight. I don't, to be honest, I don't even know who that guy is. I didn't see that. Was that on the Jake Paul card or the Misfit card? And by the way, what do you think about we not having the UFC event for the next 4 weeks? And plus, with the White House card, they're not doing any big fights on the White House card now. Many of the stars are pulling out. Like we know that Alex Perez is not going to be on the card. We know John Jones is not on the card because Dana White doesn't want him to be on the card. And then Islam Makhachev also said that it's going to be very difficult for him because he's having a fight in April. So then we're only left with Conor McGregor. That's going to be the main event. Yeah, bro. I think because of the new Paramount deal, right? They wanted to have the big fights on the Paramount. So they're having a big card on 24th of January, and then 1st of February they have another big card. So I think it's gonna be they're putting those fights on the card, and you don't know if those people are gonna come uninjured after the fights, and the timing is a little bit mad right now. Like to have two big cards back to back, and then to be able to put fighters on the UFC White House card. Connor's for UFC White House card. He is pretty much confirmed. They have to have a star on the card, and Conor McGregor is the biggest name that you want to put on the card. You do a lot of business. The timing actually aligned for this one. I think they're most probably gonna put him against Michael Chandler, but I'm also getting an indication that maybe Islam Makhachev is interested in the fight because look at the new interview of Islam Makhachev. He's kind of praising Conor McGregor. He's comparing him to Ilya, and then he's saying that Conor's actually a better counter striker than Ilya. Islam is a southpaw as well, so he sees a lot of similarities in Conor's, and he can appreciate Conor more because he's of the same stance. And then he says, even though Ilya can probably hit harder than Connor overall, but Connor is a much better counter striker. So I feel like he wants a big fight. And to be honest, they're gonna be able to make a lot of money because look, they can have like the whole Khabib storyline again. They could use that as part of the storyline. Remember Islam in the corner, he was getting gassed, but Khabib was fighting Connor. So it could be the storyline that Connor is here to avenge his loss, but this time he's actually fighting Islam Makhachev. And then imagine if he actually beats Islam, he's gonna cut a promo against Khabib. He will just call him out right after that. Did you watch the press conference of Shara Bullet versus Arman Saryukin? That is true. That is true, man. I think that's like the plan. I think everybody wants that. Everybody, if Islam gets that kind of fight, he makes like millions of dollars. And then you have then you Usman coming to UFC, and then he calls out he calls out Conor as well. I'm thinking, bro, that could be a way, right? That could be everybody for everybody to make more than $100 million. That's their way to actually get rich. Just call out Conor McGregor, and Conor's gonna be ready to call the fights. He'll be ready to take in any fight because of the rivalry with Khabib. He wants it back. So I'm sure he would try with Islam. He gets beaten by Islam, and then he would try with Usman. Just keep making the money. What else was I gonna say? There's yeah, Arman Strikin is fighting again. Dude, this guy is fighting every day, every week at least. He's doing something. Like he's the most active fighter right now. If you're looking at overall the events that he's competing in, he's constant. Like he's doing jujitsu, so many jujitsu events off like off UFC, and then he's also doing a wrestling event. It was kind of cool. I didn't watch the whole press conference. I watched some of the highlights. Obviously, Shah was bringing that rich boy storyline where it's like you have never seen a life like this. It's like when I had to train, I didn't have the money to buy gloves, so I had to steal aluminum to buy gloves. And Armin, you had an easy life. And then Armin was telling him something about like Shara being worried for like missing the flight. He missed a flight and he was worried about it. Yeah, dude. Like the whole concept of like Arman is Arman doesn't like to compete. He pulls out. He's showing you that he's the most active guy. Like the grappling events, like people think it's easy, but you can easily get injured. Like anytime I had a grappling, I competed in a grappling match, I always got injured. I like two to three grappling tournaments, and every time I was getting injured. So it's not like, oh, you're gonna come unscathed because people are going for submissions. You get put in arm bars and like some other submissions, footlocks. Eric Shin. Eric Shin. Oh, I get that. I get that. Don't tell me Sam told you that. He's also competing with the RAF card, the wrestling card, RAF. So, I mean, Armor's kind of crazy. The Charlotte Bullet fight, it actually, the weight difference is kind of crazy because Shadow's like 185 pounds and they're fighting in middleweight. You could see Shadow next to Arman. Arman looks like his kid. The weight difference is massive. And then he's competing on the wrestling card, right? The guy that he's going against, I have no idea who that guy is, but I'm guessing he's like one of the good NCAA guys. Yeah, Raf is actually alright. I'm excited about the Bo and Nickel fight, actually. I think that would be a good one. Bo versus Romero. Because Bo always talks about being like the best freestyle wrestler, right? But now we're going to find out, is he actually the best freestyle wrestler? Because he's going against Yo Romero, who's like 48 years old, so there's not much to win anyway. But Romero did pretty good, man. Even in the last fight against who was he going against? Pat Downey. I mean, that's the guy that Hamza Chimaev was training with. So that'd be cool. What's the plan for tomorrow? To be honest, I think Bo is gonna do great in this fight. Bo against Romero, there's gonna be size difference. Probably Romero is bigger at the moment, but there's also massive age difference. Even though Romero is like he's like an experimental project. He's just so athletic, even at that age and weight. He's doing backflips. You can see he's doing all those crazy moves. Yeah, dude, there's something with that guy. They say he's like a Cuban experiment for a reason. Like he's 48 years old and he's already put on a lot of weight as well. Like he's quite big for the weight class. But the way this guy moves is unbelievable. And I don't know, for some reason he doesn't use his wrestling in the UFC as much. Like if he really wanted to use Olympic level wrestler, Olympic medalists, he could have really hurt guys, taken them down, controlled them. But it's not very effective. It's more like Olympic style wrestling. He never actually implemented that in the UFC. But yeah, this is the kind of guy you can play any sports. Anything that he does great. You saw him in dirty boxing, he was doing really good. You saw him in wrestling, he's doing really good. In UFC, he was really good. Did he do bare knuckle as well? I think at one point he did bare knuckle as well. So you're just the kind of guy who can just do any type of sports. And by the way, the guy that he was doing with Pat Downey, I'm pretty sure he got dominated by Hamza Chimaev in the camp, but that was more like grappling. Obviously, Pat Downey is a wrestler. He's not a grappler. He's not a pure grappler. He was also doing. He was also competing in the CGI too. By the way, if you watch it back. Now we're gonna say goodbye to the year 2025. 2026 is coming, and I want to be active in 2026. I want to have more competitions. So February, me, David, and Greg, we're gonna be going for a jiu-jitsu tournament, and then I'll see if I can find any wrestling tournaments, and hopefully March, April, if I can find like a 5-star card to have an amateur MMA fight. Go for that. And then there's a couple of more jiu-jitsu tournaments. Like every month, I want to be doing like a jiu-jitsu or wrestling tournament, and then hopefully a boxing amateur as well. Because I feel like my style of MMA is more helpful in a boxing. Kickboxing is a little bit different. I don't have like a pressure or style in kickboxing for some reason. Who's that? Oh, I'll check him out. Is he from USA? And what weight class does he fight at? Yeah, so that's the I was telling you the difference between like boxing and kickboxing. There's with boxing, I have like a pressure style, so I'm trying to constantly pressure my opponents. Doesn't matter the weight class that I'm fighting at. But with kickboxing, it's more like trying to stay at the back foot because it's very hard to cover in kickboxing. To be honest, I find it really hard. Like you can have a high guard up, right? If you're covering your hands, if you're covering your face, but then it's like you're open for the body shots all the time. And if you don't have your hands up, then it's like you can get a head kick, especially with like the question markets. It's really hard to see them. Oh. Mm. Are you updated with cricket, by the way? You know what's happening in Ashes? Australia won the first three tests, and then they lost the fourth one. But that test, the whole test match, finished in 2 days. Wait, you talking about Hugh Janis? Is he Pakistani? I have no idea actually. I'm gonna check him out, but yeah, I'll check him out. I mean, we don't have a lot of Pakistani wrestlers actually competing at like a high level. Um, you have like a guys competing in like sand wrestling in Pakistan, but for some reason they don't have the best equipment. They don't have like the mats, the availability, so they could actually make it to Olympics. I don't think they spend a lot of money doing that, but that's what we need. I think the talent's there quite a lot. Because those guys are actually they're playing a lot of grappling sports. Like even if you look at kabaddi, there's a lot of grappling going on. There's sand wrestling. There's a lot of grappling going on, but they don't really put in a lot of stock in the sports and especially the sports that you could actually play at like a higher level on the world level. We're talking about Olympics. Or we're talking about like the World Cups of wrestling. They don't do that. You know, when I went back to Pakistan, I actually grappled with the guy who was like a national champion, and he was good. He was actually very good at wrestling. Like he was shooting the takedowns pretty fast at that. But he was kind of struggling with like the submissions. Like he only knew like one or two submissions. He was getting like darces from the top. That's what he was going for. But there was no like guard pulling. There was no leg locks. Nothing like that. The guy that he told me to check out, The Janice guy, Hugh Janice. Oh shit. No, I'm kidding. Who's making those, by the way, dude? Who's making those? I have to think about it all the time. Now I need to be careful because every time you ask me to check a guy out, there's something behind it. That has to be Sam as well. This has to be Sam 100%. That's kind of crazy. When you want to train, by the way, I think I should be. I was pretty sick today and yesterday, but I think I should be able to train tomorrow. I can do light training. Maybe go to the gym, light training, and then Tuesday light training as well. And then from Wednesday, I'll probably start going to the academy again. By the way, I went to the Hackney sauna. That's like a proper hot sauna. The temperature goes up to like 100 degrees, and then you have the option to actually put the steam in the funnel. So you put the hot water in the funnel, and then the steam actually comes out. That can actually go up to like 120 degrees. And somebody's offended. Somebody doesn't want me to. Somebody doesn't want me to talk. So this Hackney sauna, right? You can actually literally sit in 120 degrees, and then they have cold plunges as well. So you can have sauna session for like 20 minutes, then cold plunge, and the cold plunge is been minus something degrees. It's unbelievably cold. And because I'm not built for this, I'm not used to doing the cold plunges. Literally, I did 5 seconds the first time. I was like, I can't do this, man. I have to be. I can't be a bitch because Greg was doing it for like 5 minutes straight. Then I went for like 1 minute, and then at the end, I went for like more than 1 minute, but I didn't even do 2 minutes. So I was like, yeah, I need to do it like a few more times to actually be able to do it. Yes, dude, I fell for it. Yeah, true. Because I'm not paying attention. But like, have you been to cold plunge before? Mm. I think it's a very good way to actually build strength because when I was in the cold plunge, I felt extreme pain in my joints, and which tells me that it will be very good. It will be a very good drill to actually get your body accustomed to pain, especially for the fighters, guys who are competing in like combat sports and like sports overall. To be honest, they got a lot of pain in the joints. So I think that's a great way to actually accustom yourself to be able to handle that pain. It's also found to be very good for the immune system. So I think one session a week or like one session in every 2 weeks or at least a month would be very effective when it comes to the cold plunges. And I was reading on the same day, I was watching a video on Marcus Aurelius, such a legend, the guy who had a lot of money, was a great emperor, had a lot of countries under his control, and he could have easily lived a very easy life and not actually put himself in trouble. But he was waking up early in the morning, and then he tells you the stories. There's always like a dialogue that I want to stay on the bed, but I have to get up because you have to do something hard when you wake up. He doesn't want his life to be very easy. And then he plays like sports. He does boxing. He does wrestling. He does a lot of hard work. He goes early in the morning for runs, and then he has to attend a lot of meetings during the daytime. Yeah, man, sauna and cold plunges back to back. It's very good, and also that the difference in temperatures, like you're jumping in 120 degrees, and then you're going to minus 10 degrees. It's very good. The extreme difference in temperature. Mm-mm-mm. And sauna is pretty good for the recovery actually. And my friend Greg actually needed the recovery because he competed last week and he was pretty sore. His whole body is injured. He was telling me he's got like 4 injuries at the moment. He's got knee injury. He's got toe injury because he actually got toe locked in the last match. That was bad. He could barely move his toe yesterday. And then he had a shoulder injury, which I know he has had it for a long, long time. And then he's got elbow injury too. So literally, he was telling me that he's got 4 injuries at the moment. For myself personally, I got an elbow one, which is like I think I probably got like a trap nerve because every time I get kicked, I get like a sensation of having electricity going through my arm. You know, like as a kid, sometimes when you would hit the chair with your elbow by accident, you would have this current like electrons flowing through your elbow. That's the kind of sensation I get every time I get hit in the elbow. So that I have. That's why it's hard for me to even do like the tricep exercises. And what else do I have? I have like a bad shoulder. So for 2 months, I couldn't do any shoulder exercises. Even the chest presses were difficult for me because even that requires a bit of a shoulder. So, but I'm recovering from this one, so I think that's kind of better. But I have ankle pain that I have for like a while now in my right ankle. That's why my badminton footwork is really bad these days because I can't pick up the drops. Moving forward is like the hardest part. And then I have a knee pain, which I actually got during the gym session that we had. Accidentally landed on my knee. So at the moment, I'm dealing with like 4 different injuries, but I guess that's a part of it. And by the way, I'm not gonna lie about this. Remember we were wrestling the last time? I think I broke my little finger, but it's recovering because the bone is quite small. I think it doesn't even take like a month. It probably only takes like a few weeks, probably like 3 weeks to actually just fully heal. Like at the moment, it's quite better. It's not swollen anymore, which makes me think that it's already recovered a bit. Oh, Indian technique for recovery. No, I'm not actually. In germ technique, fin germ technique. No, 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 no. I'm gonna take it as I'm gonna take it as you being experienced in that technique because you are the one suggesting that. So I'll say you have definitely done it. You've definitely been doing that for recovery, and I can tell, man, that'll be good recovery for you actually because that's your kind of thing, right? You've done it so many times that it's like that is the thing that is the only thing that comes to mind when it comes to recovery for you. And how about you go to Hackney Vic sauna? How about you go to Hackney Vic sauna and then you do it there with a bunch of dudes? Wow, my whole dude, I was sleeping. I slept for like how many hours did I sleep for? I woke up pretty late first of all, around like 12, and then I stayed awake for like a few hours, but then I went to sleep again, and then I woke up around 10, 11. So I've slept a lot today, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep again. I'll probably take another lampshade because that's got paracetamol in it, which puts you to sleep. So that might be helpful. I am from Pakistan. I'm living in the UK at the moment, though. Yeah, so I think that would be a good one. But yeah, I've been very sick for like the last 2 years, and lampshade is the one that's actually helping with sleep. So I'm gonna use it even more. Uh, 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 uh. But yeah, how many of you guys actually watch UFC, and how many guys are feeling depressed because there's no UFC for the next couple of days, for the next couple of weeks? It's kind of hard to be honest. Like I literally have never watched a Misfit card before to that extent. Like I watched the last 3 to 4 fights of Misfit card. And I was like, because there is no UFC event coming up, I was like, I might as well just watch Misfits. Mm. Are you talking about the finger me technique, Fike? You know what? I haven't actually thought about it transitioning, but maybe it's coming naturally. Just need to take the bait off, man, and then it's full transitioning, and then just a couple of body parts, and that's it. That's it. But yeah, man. Oh, I mean, the next card is pretty banging though. The next card that we're getting Patty Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. What are your picks, by the way? I'm gonna pick Justin Gaethje. It's kind of a very unpopular pick at the moment. Man, Leon Edwards. The thing about Leon Edwards is right. I used to like him because I thought he was like a good counter striker, but that's what he's not doing anything else. So I think he lacks a bit of like commitment to actually hurt to put the pressure on. Like you would never see Leon actually pressing the guys. He's always looking for like the counter strikes. With Usman, he did pretty well because Usman was a pressure guy. Usman was pressuring him a lot, but he didn't have the best knees actually during that time to actually shoot the best takedowns. So Leon was able to defend the takedowns in the second fight, and that's why he was able to do very well. I think against Leon, if you're a pressure fighter and you have the ability to take him down, I think it's going to be very difficult for Leon to actually do anything good with that. So I think that's what he needs in his arsenal to throw more strikes, to attack more, to throw more combinations. It's kind of what he's lacking at the moment. But who else is a good striker who had the same style as like Leon? I would say Conor McGregor was like a better version of Leon Edwards. If you look at Conor's fights, right? Conor was a very good high level striker. He was very high level counter striker, but at the same time, Conor could actually put the pressure on. You would see him pressing people against a cage. He's throwing spinning kicks. He's doing his best boxing and all of this. So I think if Leon can have the ability of Conor in striking, he would be a better fighter than Conor because he already has the best takedown defense. Mm, what are those? Are you talking about like the? Are you talking about the recoveries? Are you talking about the recovery techniques? So now me and my friend were actually talking about like recovery, and I was saying that I went to like the Hackney Vic sauna. So you have like a sauna session in like 120 degrees. You can always put like the water inside the. You can put water inside the funnel to actually increase the temperature even more, and then after that you can jump in the cold plunge in minus like a few degrees. So it's like back and forth sauna, and oh shit. I don't know, man. I seriously don't know. Oh, cool. Hmm. You have a degree in Japanese. Japanese. Yeah, probably do. Ah, God damn it. But yeah, Fike, you've been getting me uh throughout the whole day with those words. I mean, this guy just writes something and then he wants me to read it. And then there's always something dirty going on. Like there was something about the anus and there was something about the finger me and all of this. But yeah, with Leon, that's the thing. Leon, I think he just needs to be more. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm not gonna say that, man. I'm not gonna say that. Who's that, by the way? That has to be Sam, right? Just because of the name. I'm looking at the name. It's like Goon Master Debater. It has to be him. Who's gonna come up with that creative name? All right, guys, we're gonna do a poll right now. Mm. I'm gonna see who people supports the most in this poll. And I know there's a lot of favoritism most of the times, but we're gonna find out. Let me add another option, and that is bro, come on. You gotta know this, dude. You gotta know this. Where are you from, Goon Master, by the way? I mean, both of you guys can't be doing the same thing. You can't be saying the same thing at the same time. And for me to not expect that you're living in the same house. You're from Ohio. There's no way. Where did you get the Erickson joke then? Did you watch? Did you guys watch the Misfits card? By the way, what do you guys think of that Tony Ferguson fight? Wait, in Ohio, is that like west of America, west of USA? Ohio, Cleveland is in Ohio, right? MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. What do you guys think about Machine Gun Kelly? By the way, yeah, is Machine Gun Kelly popular in Ohio? By the way, I remember I started following the guy when he was John Cena. John Cena's entrance at WrestleMania. I think it was WrestleMania 28. John Cena was gonna fight Rock, and Machine Gun Kelly was the guy. Oh shit! Even they actually. Oh my god, dude! I used to be a fan of MGK until he actually picked up the fight with Eminem. That was the time when I was like, bro, nah, there was no need for doing this. I mean, Eminem used to be his inspiration. He became a rapper because of Eminem. But then at the same time, why are you picking up a beef with your own hero? I think he messed it up over there, and then he's changed his career, so he's like a rock star now. He's doing pretty alright, actually, to be honest. Hmm. Who is the? By the way, what's the temperature in Ohio at the moment? He is pretty slim. He is pretty slim. I remember Eminem actually called him a toothpick. It was kind of funny because I think the diss tag that he released first, he called Eminem. He was making fun of Eminem's beard. Is like beard is weird. It's kind of like just messed up jokes. Dude, that is cold. I didn't think honestly. I didn't think America was gonna be that cold. I went to Canada this year in March. I went to America as well, but Canada was cold. I would expect Canada to be minus 19 degrees, even less than that. My mom actually lives in Toronto. It goes down to minus 30 degrees sometimes. In Calgary, I think it can go down to like minus 45 degrees. But minus 19 in Ohio, that's insane. What's the minimum you guys get? Let's say in January next month. Oh, wow, crazy. By the way, it's very different in UK over here. So you guys are minus 19 over there, right? We get minus 4, and it's like everything is kind of closed. If it's windy, they would say it's a storm. And no one actually dies. I know America gets tornadoes on like frequent basis. Every year you guys have like tornadoes and stuff. In UK, you get minus 4 degrees. It's cold in UK in the hot temperatures. If it goes up to minus 32 minus sorry plus 33 degrees, they even close the railway stations. No trains if it's 33 degrees. It's kind of insane. And minus 22 is pretty bad. But yeah, UK is very averse to like extreme temperatures. We have very normal temperatures. The coldest it gets is around minus 4 degrees, especially in London. Actually, Scotland would have Scotland, like the northern areas, would have the colder temperatures. And even when it's warm, it goes up to like sorry, plus 37. That's it. It doesn't get warmer than that. I know in USA can go up to like 40 degrees, 45 degrees. Depends upon the state as well. Like in Death Valley, I know you guys had 54 point something degrees or like 56 degrees maybe, which is like the hottest temperature ever recorded in the history of mankind. Vanity Vanika new album. I'm gonna go shower and listen to Vanika Vanker new album. All right, bro. All right, have a good one. Have a good one. I think I'm gonna cut as well. I'll probably do streaming tomorrow. Dude, what I want to do is now my plan is to like stream every day. So tomorrow, if I have a break in the office, I might do streaming for like 15 minutes and might pick it up at night as well because I don't think I'm gonna be able to have a long session tomorrow. I'm a bit sick, so I might do stream tomorrow and every day actually, every day, once, twice. All right, guys, have a good one. Good night.